Hello. So today what we're going to be taking a look at is how to create number sentences using integers. Um, so um, we took a look at the blue and the red, and we know that the blue are positives because they have positives in them. We know that the red are negative. When we take a look, when we're working with hands-on stuff, we can take a look at other integer chips, which are yellow and green, I believe, and they mean the same thing. The yellow would be the negatives, and the green would be the positives. Anyways, so we're drawing because, well, it's just easier to represent this way. So, again, we're looking at making number sentences using integer chips. So these are addition, all right? Today we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting, but this is addition right here. So if we're adding again, what we're doing is we're taking two pieces and putting them together, right? So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue, which is 5 positive. And we're adding 2 red, which is -2. So if we were to create a number sentence for this, these integers, it would look something like this: +5, or +5, sorry, plus -2. All right. Now, if we're adding and combining these two numbers, what we have to remember is our zero pairs. Remember, if we have a negative and a positive together, they equal 0. Okay, so our zero pairs. So this is equal to 0. So when we look at this drawing here, this representation of +5 plus -2, we can take these two, combine them for a zero pair, and these two and combine them for a zero pair. Now what do we have left? 1, 2, 3 positives. So in this case, +5 plus -2 is equal to +3. Now what's the opposite of that? Well, in this case, the +5 was more than the -2. So let's take a look at the opposite of that. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positives. So what we can do is write it like this: -8 plus +5. Again, looking at zero pairs, how many do we have? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zero pairs. So what are we left with? Well, we're left with -3. So that's how we identify number sentences when it comes to integers, all right, when adding. We're going to take a look at subtracting here in a second. So here we have subtraction using integer chips, and this is a subtraction example. Now, what are we subtracting exactly, and what are we left with, and what do we start with? That's the first place we look at. Now, we know this is a subtraction. Okay. So I'm going to put a subtract sign here. Well, what do we start off with? Well, we start off here at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 negatives. That is what we started off with. So -5. Then we go down to the second diagram here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 negatives and 2 positives. But what did we take away? What left the group? Well, take a look at the third one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're left with -7. So what did we take away? We took away 2 positives. So that is our subtraction example. Now, what did we do? Well, remember, we had -5 and we're taking away +2. Do we have any positives to take away? No. So we added 0 pairs, remember? We added our 0 pairs. And then finally, we were able to take away the positives. And what did that leave us with? -7. Here we have another subtraction example and diagram. Again, we know it's a subtraction because something is being taken away, as we can observe here. What did we start off with? Well, we take a look at the top where we started off with 1, 2, 3 positives. So we started off with +3. We started off with +3, so we take a look at the second diagram here. And we added 3 0 pairs, right? There's a 0 pair here, there's a 0 pair here, and a 0 pair here. But what left? Well, we took away these 3 negatives. And what are we left with? +1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our subtraction would be -3. So if you have +3, subtract -3, you wind up with a +6, right? It's very simple. Let's say if we have 5 negatives. And then we subtract 2 of them, right? It's very simple to think about this as this way, but when it comes to the other examples, you get to see why it's very easy to draw them out. So we started off with 5 negatives, -5s, and we're taking away -2. We're left with -3, right? Again, with those other examples, it was a little more complex, but it is doable to understand what exactly we're taking away and why we add the 0 pairs and how we come to our conclusion. All right. I'll be leaving some questions at the bottom of the page, some pictures, and I would appreciate it if you came up with some answers as to what the number sentence will be. All right. So, thank you.